the ties.
And the game is about to start, so we can...
There's Magnus. What's the story? Has Magnus stopped drinking orange juice? He's also struggling to sit down there, but I've seen him with less orange juice and more water recently.
Probably not during a Blitz event. I think orange juice is still around, but probably for the longer format.
That's possible. Or maybe with advancing age, all these empty carbohydrates he has to skip and just stick to water.
That is also possible. There's also, something to be said for the theory that Isklar is one of the title sponsors of the tournament.
As is Altibox, as you can see there. Yeah. The tournament is actually called the Altibox Norway Chess.
And Veselin opens with 1 e4.
Decent move, but d4 is a bit better because the pawn is protected. e4 is a little more risky.
And suddenly not a Berlin. Magnus goes for the...
The bird?
No, a6, g6. What do you call a6, g6?
I don't think that has a name.
Yeah, a6, d6 is the enhanced Steinitz, yeah. And
He's played this before.
Yeah, it transposed into the enhanced Steinitz a little bit. These things do tend to merge in many cases. d4, bishop d7, yeah, this is a...
He had this game recently against Kayakin. I forgot the move order, where he went knight e7 and then knight g8 back.
Knight g8, yeah, that was a weird game.
Not sure how it went, some early d5 there.
Castles, bishop g7.
Something like rook e1, knight e7, d5.
d5, knight b8, and then at some point the knight just returned to g8 to play bishop h6.
Something like this.
Yeah. Close to this, I think, maybe even exactly this. But
we'll see if he sticks to that idea. But after bishop g7, white has a white choice. d5, de5, rook e1, bishop g5,
and
many
moves. Yeah. I think you were supposed to go d5 and...
it's very little, though.
Yeah, rook e1, knight f6 is what they have on the board. Bishop g5. I think this could maybe prevent the immediate castling from black, because d5 could be awkward, although I could be wrong there.
Let's blunder some pieces.
Oh yeah, knight e5, bishop a4, this still works.
d e5, you take some stuff, but we have
bishop a4 still works, yeah. So.
Well, it's maybe a bit better here, but...
Yeah, but Magnus starts with h6, castles, and plays... h6, bishop h4, and only castles here.
What's the difference? Some g5, if he ever needs it.
The difference is the bishop will no longer have an easy retreat towards, the comfortable diagonals if d5 is played.
Yeah, you also want to choose it between diagonals, right? So
d takes e5 is on the board. I think the plan is probably to take with the knight. No, he takes with the pawn.
Maybe he wants to keep more pieces to use his superior blitz skills and confuse Veselin.
Knight bg2. How do you play cp? Do you play queen e8?
You gotta go somewhere. e8 or c8.
Yeah.
Maybe
you probably
here,
need to unpin yourself here. b5 is possible, but feels kind of awkward because
of
b8's target. Queen e7 is what Magnus eventually settled on. Knight f1. White's play is also very, very natural so far. Yeah, knight e3, knight e5. This idea will probably mean that black will at least consider playing g5 at some point. b5, bishop c2. Yeah, you still have the same ideas here for white. Rook a d8, you can start with rook a d8, but it probably doesn't even force white to react. You can play knight e3 anyway, and bishop g4, queen e2 is perfectly comfortable for white.
I'd like to go for some clumsy maneuvers, but it's hard to put anything here because e5 is always dropping.
I think it's a bit slow.
It's an unpleasant position.
I think
you have to go for this and...
Rook a d8, knight e3. Yeah, this is curious because rook d8 looks natural, but on the other hand, you put another piece in
harm's way.
Yeah, well, sort of under that pin. Bishop e6 is what Magnus went with, and now knight e5 is an actual move you can calculate. Although it's probably a bit hasty. Takes g5 for it, so even queen c5 maybe.
You can't take because of because of queen d5.
Because of queen d5, yeah.
But if you throw in this.
Yeah, this is a curious position, and also it's, white is under no obligation to do this, and I think he played queen c1.
Solid.
Queen c5 is Magnus's response, untying himself.
Also stopping b4, which is sometimes annoying.
Yeah, good point.
This is the worst over for Magnus. Because now a4, you have b4.
a4, b4. I would like to play bishop b3 here, but if you play it immediately, I think takes g5 wins the e4 pawn. Veselin opted for something I can't quite make out. I think he played rook e2, which is a move I don't immediately understand.
What's that about?
Sure. I'm not sure what this is. Rook d7.
Even if I am pin, yeah.
Rook d7 and queen e1. So he's planning a
he wants
very
to go
slow
b4.
plan to go before. Yeah, knight h5.
You can stop it.
Yeah, but knight h5 is also very, very natural with the rook on e2 creating an immediate target for knight f4.
This maneuver looks too artificial to be good.
Yeah, I think it's a bit slow. Yeah, queen b6, bishop b3, and now after knight f4. Although white is still fine. Just go rook d2 here. Yeah, the fact that he managed to play before bishop b3 is definitely in white's favor because he will be able to trade off some of the pieces he did not want on the board and renew the idea of knight d5, for instance.
Looks like Magnus
takes and played something. You know.
Is white better? Because I can't go rook d8, which
I quite like this position all of a sudden. Yeah, I think maybe stopping before was decent.
a5, bishop e6, fe6, but that's an ugly structure.
That is not a particularly nice structure. a3, g5, bishop g3 has been played. Yeah, this is a fairly decent position for white suddenly. Yeah.
Rook d8, queen a2.
a2, yeah.
No, this looks nasty. It's also h4 to soften the king side.
h4 now is a very, very, serious potential problem for black.
Good thing I expertly predicted a Topalov win in this one.
Yeah, so did I. We're on fire as predictors.
Always. Queen
king
a2,
king f7, h4. Yeah, as expected, Veselin of course goes for the throat on the king side. Bishop f6 takes knight g4 is very awkward to face.
Horrible. Magnus is not going to need all his defensive prowess to hang in here.
Rook g3, but you can just play queen c2 or queen e2 or something.
Queen e2 probably not.
Yeah, I mean, also not queen c2 because rook takes c3 is what happened. I think he should have started Magnus.
Oh, he blundered this?
Yeah, no, he didn't take on c3. But
yeah.
But yeah, that was a huge turnaround because...
sort of a key pawn covering this square.
Yeah. Had he started with bishop takes f4, I think his position would have been overwhelming. Because if you take with the e pawn, I can play e5 and then queen c2, and the queen will start. Well, it goes to h7, yeah, as Jan described. And if you take with the g pawn, queen c2 is also driving the rook away, and then I can start opening up the king side. Yeah. So that was a big mistake from Veselin. And now, but the position I think is still quite possibly unclear because the weaknesses on the king side are not going away. I can, yeah. This is what happened. Queen b2 takes rook c4, and for instance, I can take on f4 here and take on e5 twice. To which black probably replies by king moving somewhere. And now white has an option of taking on c4, but that endgame is probably good for black after bishop takes b2 and bishop takes a1. So he should do something else. And yeah, bishop takes f4 has been played, gf4, and rook d1 is what Veselin opts for, which is
makes sense.
King e7 takes on f6, king takes f6, and rook d7. They are now playing very, very fast because I think they're somewhat running out of time. But
if rook b4 and queen a3, you're intending to.
Yeah, but he went knight d4, which is a very sensible move. Takes rook h7. I think yeah, black is now doing quite well. Queen c6 because white doesn't have important checks and black does. Queen e2, queen c1 check, king h2, rook d1. Yeah, and it seems like
black is faster.
Black is breaking through, and the rook on h7 actually gets lost. So
we see Magnus shaking his head a bit. Stressful game, but he got away with it.
Yeah, he did get away with it a little bit here, more than a little bit. I mean, after rook d3, I think bishop takes f4. The white's position should be close to winning. I think.
Yeah, and Veselin just blundered, and after this, it's messy.
Yeah, it's still very unclear, but yeah, once the pawn on c3 is gone, the knight on c6 has a square on d4, and the whole structure changes. So, yeah.
Another point for Magnus Carlsen. Vladimir Kramnik defeated Pentalia Harikrishna, whom I jinxed by predicting a white win, and he queened his d-pawn. Giri MVL is still in full swing.
So maybe we should actually put this on the board and yeah.
It is.
White should be winning, I suppose.
This guy is not going anywhere?
I don't really see. I
I
mean, the
wonder
rook,
this.
yeah, but it's very slow because let's say king goes somewhere, I go g5.
Apparently, but this might be a mistake, I don't trust it yet. The system says MVL 1, but we'll wait for the system to make up its mind. Because I think, yeah, he played king d5 and the system understood this as king e5 or whatever.
Yeah, this is weird because I mean, unless Anish lost on time, you don't really lose this with white. You might not win it on a bad day, but losing it is difficult to imagine.
Maybe Anish lost on time. We'll wait for confirmation, but for now it says that black won.
Yeah, a game between Ulyanov and Lichau is also still going. Black is pressing, but I think white probably has enough checks here. Although I'm not sure with that assessment. I mean, queen. And just go back to g2 maybe and ask black to show what his plan is. Because queen c7, king h8 might be regretted later.
Looks like the game did end in a draw. Maybe they
So
repeated the position here a couple times already? Yeah, they did.
Ulyanov finally scores her first half a point in this tournament.
Aronian Grandelius also ended in a draw. The underdog from Sweden is holding himself quite well, or
Yeah,
his own quite well.
Yeah, he's doing fine so far. He is on -1. He's probably not particularly happy about that, but this is an incredibly strong tournament, and he's first for sure. And
What else we got? I believe that's it. We're still waiting for confirmation in the Giri MVL game. Looks like Giri overstepped the time limit.
yeah, that would be my explanation for this result, because nothing else really makes sense there.
So, as the scorekeeper in charge, can you update us?
Absolutely. Magnus, hang on.
Magnus-
Anish lost on time there.
That's what we think. Yeah.
Okay, so Magnus is on 4.5. Clear second is Kramnik on 4. Anish is on 3.5. Still nobody caught up with him. Clear fourth place is still Lev on 3 out of 5. And for the final 5th place, which guarantees you more whites than blacks in the actual classical tournament, there is now a tie for 2.5 out of 5. With MVL on 50% and Lichau also on 50%. This is what I think is currently happening.
So, who do we think is going to get the extra whites? Magnus must be a lock by now.
Yeah.
Kramnik with 4 out of 5, more or less a lock as well.
No, those two, I think you